Okay, so Hare Krishna, dear devotees, and Jai Shri Shri Nrsimha Bhagavan, Continental Appearance Day Mahotsav, Realizations Program, Ki Jai. Everybody's doing. Sorry, can you hear me now? Can everybody hear me? I've just done something here. Hold on. You can hear me now?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Oh, you can. Okay. All right. You can still hear me now also. All right. Okay, that's all right. Okay, so we had Lord Nrsimhadeva Appearance Day on the Thursday, a very important day, especially for devotees and devotees devotional service. And we had very wonderful festival as well. And so today we are following up with our devotees realization program, where all the devotees would share, the leaders group would share their realization on Lord Nrsimhadeva Appearance Day. It is very enlivening for me to hear and learn from all of you. So I'm hoping that we all can um, uh, complete in about 2 hours, leaders, and I can get about an hour to speak. So otherwise, whatever I get, I'm perfectly all right. As I said, I'm in absolute ecstasy, when we hear from the devotees. That's what we want to do rather than just speaking. So please, who would like to take the lead? Who would like to give the reluctance first? Thank you.
Hare, Hare Krishna, Amrish Prabhu. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. And thank you, Amrish Prabhu, for giving us an opportunity to give our realization on this auspicious day. It was really very wonderful celebration we celebrated in our small center. And it was really, I couldn't believe that 40 people in the small room we celebrated in such a way that I couldn't believe that, they were so nicely well organized. So thank you, Amrish Prabhu. And my realization is
Thanks to you and all of you as well. Not only to
yes,
me.
Prabhu. Thanks to all devotees and participants.
Right. But you are correct in saying this, but I'm correct also in giving that to all of you. Hare Krishna.
My realization from some of the Srila Prabhupada's lecture and Canto 7. So the Prahlad Maharaj was born, as we know that he born in the family that was completely, they are atheistic and demonic family. Prahlad Maharaj was son of the most atheistic person and very powerful person. And he had, Prahlad Maharaj had no opportunity to glorify the Supreme Lord. When Prahlad Maharaj was just 5 years old, he used to take an opportunity when there is a gap or recreation time in the school, and he used to call all the, his fellow friends and talk about the Krishna consciousness at the age of 5 years old. So it's really amazing. And when I heard from Srila Prabhupada that, this is really happened, it's not a story or anything. So we can't really, as the age of 5, the one person is calling. So that's happened just because he heard Bhagavatam when he was in his mother's womb. When he heard, just see that's only he heard, and that's the association. He has never seen his Guru, but still he could grasp everything. So we are so lucky here that, Srila Prabhupada's under very, different condition at the age of 70, he went to the USA and he gave us that knowledge. And even Srila Prabhupada, that knowledge is so powerful. And even sometimes Srila Prabhupada says that, when he went to America, he said that he just used to visualize that throughout the world there will be the temples. See the Vani from the pure devotees. And that happened. When he was there, no one could believe, because I heard that one of the realization from the devotees long back, I think Amrish Prabhu or someone forwarded. he said that, I mean, we were surprised, Srila Prabhupada used to say, now, whole world will be like, Krishna consciousness. Everywhere there will be temples. I mean, that time, nobody could have thought it. But now, the fact is that realize that, yes, everywhere there is. That's the knowledge, and that's the like, even though we are not seeing the Guru, even though, but his Vani, like, his lectures, his books, they are all giving us a wonderful knowledge for everything for the Krishna consciousness. And here, Prahlad Maharaj, he just listened from the mother's womb. So how, like, beautiful that is. So Prahlad Maharaj, thus, I mean, he says in his prayers that the human form is very rare, and no one can assure us that the long life, there will be long life. So that rare opportunity where to take the chance and turn into the spiritual life and try to go back to the Godhead. The Prahlad Maharaj always used to say that the ultimate life is our Vishnu, and that is Supreme Personality of the Godhead. People who are in the material world do not know the good life of human life, the God, do not know the God of human life, because they don't know, because they have been just like, in the material life, so they don't know the other side, so they only is to enjoy their material life. But Prahlad Maharaj said that do not know that, doesn't, I mean, they should know that, I mean, those who are in spiritual life, they know that the Vishnu is our friend. Those who are in the spiritual, those who are in Krishna consciousness, so we know that we have got a wonderful friend, that is Vishnu, that's Krishna, and he takes care of everything. So even in Bhagavad Gita chapter 5, it says that if you want to peace, then you must understand perfectly and everything in the world, and other words is the property of Krishna. Everything is the property of Krishna. So one should understand that he is the enjoyer, and but also side by side, he is also the a friend of everyone. So when Hiranyakashipu was killed by the Lord was very angry at that time. No one dared to go in front of the God. They were demigod headed by the Brahma. They were like, they could not even pacify him. Even Lakshmi, the goddess Lakshmi, was also goddess of the future. Lakshmi was also present there, and the constant companion of Narayan. He could not dare to come before the Lord Nrsimha. But um, when Brahma asked Prahlad Maharaj to go forward and pacify Lord's anger, Prahlad Maharaj, being confident of the affection of the master of Lord Nrsimhadeva, was not afraid at all. He very gravely appeared just before the Lord's lotus feet, and offered him respectful obeisances. Lord Nrsimhadeva, being very much affectionate towards Prahlad Maharaj, put his hand on Prahlad Maharaj's head, and Prahlad Maharaj immediately achieved Brahmajnana, spiritual knowledge. Thus, he offered his prayers to the Lord in full spiritual knowledge and full devotional ecstasy. The instruction given by Prahlad Maharaj in his form of the prayers. So, some of the prayers I'll just mention what are the instruction Prahlad Maharaj has given to all of us. So, Prahlad Maharaj said, I'm not proud of being able to offer praise to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. I simply take shelter of the mercy of the Lord. For without devotion, one cannot satisfy him. One cannot please him by dint of high parentage or great opulence, hearing, austerity. These are never pleasing to the Supreme Lord. Even if a non-devotee is a Brahman qualified and has 12 Brahmanical qualification or symptoms, he cannot be even dear to the Lord. Prahlad Maharaj said, whereas a person born in a family of the dog eater and he's a devotee, Lord can accept his prayers. So Lord Nrsimhadeva appeared for the benefit of all living beings. The Lord is present in everyone's heart, and the super soul to give the living beings protection and all benefit. Thus, Lord acts sometimes as a killer or sometimes as the protector. So one should not misunderstood. Those interested in silently worshipping the Lord is in like in a solitary place. People go to the Himalaya and but that is only for their own benefit, not for the society, not for the others. But here, the Prahlad Maharaj carrying, like, I mean, he says that it is for the all suffering people, not for the himself. So therefore, not caring to his own liberation is always engages in preaching by glorifying the Lord. So Prahlad Maharaj therefore had tried to deliver his class to his friends by practicing, and had never remained silent, because he doesn't want to keep that knowledge with himself, but he wants to spread everywhere to everyone. A pure devotee, however, being freed from all such deceptive activities, he is able to see the Lord face to face. So like what we see the Srila Prabhupada always is to glorify the God. And he always used to have 100% um, 100% confidence and believe that God will look after everyone. So thus, the Prahlad Maharaj offered his prayers to Supreme Personality of Godhead, begging his mercy. And every step, Lord Nrsimha was provided by the Prahlad Maharaj prayers, and would give him a benediction by which Prahlad Maharaj could have got all sorts of material opulences, facilities. But Prahlad Maharaj, however, did not accept anything. Rather, he would remain, he wanted to remain as a servant of the Lord. Also, in one of the prayers, Prahlad Maharaj says that Lord Nrsimha, though his appearance was like, fierce appearance, like, very, I mean, no one could believe, the most dangerous. For the it is for the non-devotees. But the Prahlad Maharaj, such a fearful appearance was not at all disturbing, because, I mean, he said that because he sees the God. Like he's given an example that lion is very fearsome for other animals, but lion's cubs is not at all afraid to lion. Same way, like the water of the sea is certainly dreadful to all living entities on the land, but within the sea, even a small fish is unafraid of, because the small fish has taken the shelter of the big ocean. Even it is said that although the great elephants are taken away by flooding waters of the river, but the small fish swim opposite the current. Therefore, although the Lord sometimes assumes a fierce appearance to kill the Dushkritas, the devotee worship him. Like we always worship that Keshava Dhruta Narhari Rupa Jai Jagadish Hare. The devotee always take pleasure in worshipping the Lord and glorify the Lord in form either pleasing or it is fierce. So Hare Krishna, this is my realization from this Lord Nrsimha's Janmajan. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you very much for your nice realization, and thank you very much for starting the program first, as you always do. Even Sanjeev Prabhu. That's very nice. Hare Krishna. Yes, Lord Nrsimhadev's appearance is very special to devotees, and all the devotees will love it. It's our specialty. Every devotee loves Lord Nrsimhadev, and Lord Nrsimhadev loves all the devotees. That is a fact. Okay. Who would like to continue, please? Feel free. Thank you.
Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Hare Krishna, Amrish Prabhu. And thank you very much for giving me this opportunity. And and thank you for organizing this program. And I was seeing the photos of the celebration, and yeah, I was missing the association probably. So it was very wonderful program.
We also missed
That
you,
was-
you know. We also missed you. Very fun.
thank you, Prabhuji, for
Yeah, family.
opportunity. So yes, and Lord Nrsimhadev Appearance Day is very important festival for Vaishnavas. Because Nrsimha Chaturdasi is the day when Lord Nrsimhadev appeared from a stone pillar to protect his devotee Prahlad Maharaj. So this is the best day to take shelter of Lord Nrsimhadev, because Lord Nrsimhadev gives protection very easily to devotees who comes in his shelter. And this is Lord's nature. He is Bhakta Vatsal. And we all need protection in our day-to-day life and from distractions of Maya Devi. All we need is to pray wholeheartedly to Lord Nrsimhadev, like Prahlad Maharaj did, with strong faith, and Lord appeared to protect him. So we sing Lord Nrsimhadev prayers every day after Aarti, and which is the process given to us by Srila Prabhupada. And Lord Nrsimhadev is very affectionate towards devotees and very dangerous to demons. So there are many pastimes of Lord Nrsimhadev, and devotees share their experiences all over world. But my realization is on the same Canto 7, Chapter 9, introduction, when what Sopan Prabhu shared, where Srila Prabhupada explains that this chapter is called Prahlad Maharaj pacifies Lord Nrsimhadev with prayers. So Srila Prabhupada explains in the summaries that after Hiranyakashipu was killed, the Lord continued to be very angry, and the demigods headed by Lord Brahma could not pacify him. Even Mother Lakshmi, the goddess of fortune, the constant companion of Narayan, could not dare come before Lord Nrsimhadev. Then Lord Brahma asked Prahlad Maharaj to go forward and pacify the Lord's anger. Prahlad Maharaj, being confident of affection of his master, Lord Nrsimhadev, was not afraid at all. He very gravely appeared before the Lord's lotus feet and offered him respectful obeisances. Lord Nrsimhadev, being very much affectionate toward Prahlad Maharaj, put his hand on Prahlad Maharaj's head, and because of being personally touched by the Lord, Prahlad Maharaj immediately achieved Brahma Gyan, spiritual knowledge. Thus, he offered his prayers to the Lord in full spiritual knowledge and full devotional ecstasy. The instructions given by Prahlad Maharaj in form of his prayers are as follows. That Prahlad Maharaj said that I'm not proud of being able to offer prayers to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. I simply take shelter of the mercy of the Lord. For without devotion, one cannot appease him. One cannot please the Supreme Personality of Godhead simply by dint of high parentage or great opulence, learning, austerity, penance, or mystic power. Indeed, these are never pleasing to the Supreme Lord, for nothing can please him but pure devotion service. Even if a non-devotee is a Brahmana qualified with 12 Brahmanical symptoms, he cannot be very dear to the Lord. Whereas if a person born in a family of dog eaters is a devotee, the Lord can accept his prayers. The Lord doesn't need anyone's prayers, but if a devotee offers his prayers to the Lord, the devotee benefits greatly. Ignorant person born in low families therefore can sincerely offer heartfelt prayers to the Lord. and Lord will accept them. As soon as one offers his prayers to the Lord, he is immediately situated in Brahman platform. So, and Srila Prabhupada further said that in the end, that the conditioned soul is always attracted by the external energy. Therefore, he is subjected to lust and greed, and he suffers under the conditions of material nature. The Lord's causeless mercy toward his devotee is the only means of which to get out of material existence. Anyone engaged in glorifying the Lord's activities is always unafraid of this material world, whereas one who cannot glorify the Lord in that way is subjected to all lamentations. Those interested in silently worshipping the Lord in solitary places may be eligible for liberation themselves, but a pure devotee is always aggrieved to see others suffering. Therefore, not caring for his own liberation, he always engages in preaching by glorifying the Lord. Prahlad Maharaj therefore had tried to deliver his class friends by preaching and had never remained silent. Although being silent, observing austerities and penances, learning the Vedic literatures, undergoing ritualistic ceremonies, living in a solitary place, and performing japa and transcendental meditation are approved means of liberation. They are meant for non-devotees or for cheaters who want to live at the expense of others. A pure devotee, however, being freed from all such deceptive activities, is able to see the Lord face to face. So, in the end, Srila Prabhupada said that the atomic theory of composition of cosmic manifestation is not factual. The Lord is the cause of everything, and therefore he is the cause of this creation. One should therefore always engage in devotional service by offering respectful obeisances to the Lord, offering prayers, working for Lord, worshipping the Lord in temple, always remembering the Lord, and always hearing about his transcendental activities. Without these 6 kinds of activities, one cannot attain to devotion service. And Prahlad Maharaj thus offered his prayers to the Supreme Lord, begging his mercy at every step. And Lord Nrsimhadeva was pacified by Prahlad Maharaj's prayers and wanted to give him benedictions, which Prahlad Maharaj could procure all kinds of material facilities. But Prahlad Maharaj, however, was not misled by these material facilities, and rather he wanted to remain always a servant of the servant of the servant of the Lord. Das Dasanu Das. Jai Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So what I have realized that Srila Prabhupada explained how Prahlad Maharaj offered prayers to Lord Nrsimhadeva to pacify him. And Lord is so affectionate towards Prahlad Maharaj that immediately Lord Nrsimhadeva pacified by looking at him. So Lord is always protecting his devotees, especially the point where Srila Prabhupada said that silently worshipping the Lord in solitary place may be eligibility for liberation, but a pure devotee is always aggrieved to see others suffering, therefore not caring for his own liberation. He always engages in preaching by glorifying the Lord. Prahlad Maharaj tried to deliver his class friends by preaching and had never remained silent. So this is the point, that when we take risks for Krishna and preach boldly, Lord Nrsimhadeva always protect us. And here Srila Prabhupada also telling us that devotee means preaching and devotee means fearlessness. Like Prahlad Maharaj, he is fearless, because fearless comes from when we are 100% totally dependent on Krishna and going out in public for preaching. There are lots of devotees who share their experiences when they're doing distributing book distributions and other services in public, and how Lord Nrsimhadeva protected them. So because the fierce form of Lord Nrsimhadeva may appear most awful to non-devotees, but to the devotees, the Lord is always affectionate, as he is in other forms. And Srila Prabhupada says that fear of material existence is due to false ego. One who has fully taken shelter of the Lord's lotus feet, can be saved from the onslaughts of material nature. So, yeah, so this is the point that I realized, that when we, Lord Nrsimhadeva is always affectionate and he's always protecting, and we always pray to Nrsimhadeva. But especially when we're doing preaching and when we're going out there in public and boldly stand out for on behalf of Srila Gurudev and Srila Prabhupada. So Lord Nrsimhadeva is protecting us. So yeah, so this is the point that I realized from on this auspicious occasion. So Jai Nrsimhadev ki Jai, Prahlad Maharaj ki Jai, Srila Prabhupada ki Jai, Srila Gurudev ki Jai. Hare Krishna.
Yes, Hare Krishna. Thank you very much, Ajitaji. Very nice presentation. It's very nice. And yes, Lord Nrsimhadeva's form is very ferocious, but for the devotee, it's very kind. So that is very nice. That's very nice. No, may I just request, just in case, to even if we are just recording and then uploading it in YouTube, can we not have these children alone on the screen? First I said yes, but I think it's better that we cover that. We have children with some adult. It will be better that way. Please, if you can just make sure of this thing, just in case. For 90 days they've got some other things, so just be careful on this point, and then we'll see how things go. Is it okay? Is it all right? Is it okay?
Yes, Prabhuji. Your voice is, Prabhuji, not clear. It's echoing quite a lot.
It's echoing. Okay, hold on. Let me do something. Is this all right now? Is it better?
Yes, Prabhuji. Yeah, Prabhuji. Yeah, much clear. Yeah.
Now, is this better or is it what is it? Is it low? My voice is coming, not coming. I'm doing something here.
Yeah, initially it came very clear. Yeah.
How is it now?
Now it's gone down.
It's gone down. Hold on, it's going down. Now, tell me, is it okay?
Still very low.
Okay. Now,
No.
now, can you hear me now?
Yes, I think getting better.
I don't know.
I don't think that affects it. I think you'll have to, if
Is
you
this
remove.
okay now? No, I'm trying to do this. There is a button here. Is this okay now? Can you hear me? Tell me what is the best.
It's still the same.
Is this okay now? Is this all right? Is the same now still?
Yeah,
Yes.
just try to remove your hand from it and see if it works.
Yeah, now it's all right. Is it okay now?
Yes, I think that's right.
Is it good enough? Sorry.
Tell
me.
It's a low. We can hear you, but it's a low.
Low. Now? How is it low? Tell me.
Now it's, yeah.
Is it okay now?
Move the
Yeah.
speaker closer to you, then it'll go louder.
Where's the speaker? I don't know. Oh, here is the speaker? I don't know. Is this all right?
Yeah.
I don't know. You tell me.
Yeah, this is better now. I think speaker need to be close to your mouth. Yeah.
Is this okay? This is
Yeah.
right. Is it?
Yes.
Okay. So probably, hold on. Okay, now is it okay?
Yeah, better. Yeah, much better.
Now I'm trying to mute it and tell me whether it is working or
Can't hear you.
okay, good. I've muted myself. Now is this okay now? Is it all right?
Yes, it's good.
Okay. So what I was saying is that this YouTube thing, That is for 90 days, just avoid it, Where with the kids, instead of showing them separately on the screen, let them with some adults, for 90 days. And then we'll see how it goes from there. Is it okay for both of
Yeah.
you?
Yes.
Sanjeev Babu, is it all right for you too? Is it okay?
Yes, Prabhuji. Yes, I was just
Yeah.
telling, just sending message to my wife because couldn't hear it properly, that they
Yeah.
can only connect one device and all three can sit in one screen.
Yes. For now, for the time being, let us do that,
Yes,
because we don't know what's going on there, whether they'll allow us this or not, But
Yes.
anyway, we have found our way. We are putting it later on, so no problem. We are not dependent on anybody else. Hopefully, okay. All right. So thank you very much for a nice realization, Sanjeev Prabhu. Now, who would like to go next? Please feel free, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Thank you, Sanjeev Prabhu and Sopan Prabhu, for your very nice realizations. And thank you, Ambrish Prabhu, for giving us opportunity to share our realizations on this occasion. Jai Jablo Shri Prahlad Nrsimh Bhagwan ki Jai. Om Namo Bhagavate Nrsimhaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Nrsimhaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Nrsimhaya. Namaste Jasate Jasa Avir Bhava Vajnakha Vajdamshta Karma Shayan Randhaya Tamo Grasa Om Swaha Abhyam Atmani Bhuvishta Om Sham Om Sham Om Sham. I offer my respectful obeisances unto Lord Nrsimhadeva, the source of all power. O my Lord, who possesses nails and teeth, just like thunderbolt, kindly vanquish our demon-like desires for fruitive activity in this material world. Please appear in our hearts and drive away our ignorance, so that by your mercy we may become fearless in the struggle for existence in this material world. Jai. Just hold on a minute. Okay, sorry. I was actually listening to Guru Maharaj's lecture, on Canto 7 and Chapter 5, verse 30, where actually Guru Maharaj was actually instructing, Prahlad Maharaj's instruction. And also listening to Srila Prabhupada as well on one of his lecture on Nrsimha Chaturdashi, where Srila Prabhupada said that there is always a struggle in this world between a theist and a atheist. So the theist actually who have a firm faith in Lord Krishna, and atheist who do not actually have any faith or challenge, the existence of God. So there is always a struggle, especially in Kali Yuga, this age of Kalaha or struggle, that is very difficult, for us to actually strengthen our faith, somehow with the mercy of Srila Prabhupada, Srila Gurudev, and Ambrish Prabhu, we have actually come onto this path of actually try to understand what Krishna consciousness is. And as Srila Prabhupada said, there is always a struggle between theist and atheist. I was meditating on this point, and what I realized that actually we say Hiranyakashipu, he is a demon, Asura, the best among the demons, who represented the materialistic propensity, whereas Prahlad Maharaj is a great devotee of Lord Vishnu, Lord Krishna. So there is a theist and atheist, and there is a struggle. So even for us, actually, when we actually try to purify our existence, there is always a lot of desires within our heart, and we have, as Srila Prabhupada says, that we have very strong desire for material enjoyment. And it is very hard to actually uproot those desires unless we try to purify our heart by actually chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra and following the instruction of Srimad Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam. So there are a lot of instructions given by Lord Krishna in Bhagavad Gita, and I was thinking that we accept some instructions, we try to implement some instruction, we struggle to implement some instruction, and sometimes we do not agree with some of the instruction because it's too hard for us to implement. So, actually in the past, we also discussed that to extent to which we are actually accepting and implementing, to that extent we are a theist, and whatever we actually reject or do not want to implement, to that extent we are also atheist, demons. So within ourselves, there is actually theist and atheist, and struggle is always going on, especially in a devotee's life, because we always struggle. As it says, there are many, many obstacles in the path of devotion. But actually, we derive strength from chanting and actually, learning from Srila Prabhupada and Srila Gurudev's instructions. So there is always struggle going on, within our actually mind, because our mind is always giving us a lot of actually arguments, how not to do the devotional service. It's always try to come up with best actually reason and actually try to justify. And I always experience that. But as mind is very chanchal, as in Bhagavad Gita it is said that chanchalahi mana Krishna pramati balbaddidam tasyaham nigraham manne vayor evashi dishkritam. So mind is always chanchal and is always actually giving us a hard time, to actually focus on a devotional service. So how to actually calm this mind and try to actually increase our focus in devotional service. So I was reading this actually lecture given by His Holiness Mahavishnu Guru Maharaj, or dear Guru Maharaj, where Maharaj actually referred to this verse, Canto 7, Chapter 5, verse 30. Shri Pralada Uvacha sorry. Tat sadhu manne asurvardehi nam sada samudvigna dhyam asatgraha hitatma patam graham andakupam vanam gato yadharim ashayeta. So Prahlad Maharaj replied, O best of the asuras, the king of demons, as far as I have learned from my spiritual master, any person who has accepted temporary body and temporary household life is certainly embarrassed by anxiety because of having fallen in a dark well where there is no water but only suffering. One should give up this position and go to the forest one. More clearly, one should go to Vrindavan, where only Krishna consciousness is prevalent, and should thus take shelter of Supreme Personality of Godhead. So, actually, whoever has accepted this temporary body and temporary household life, so we are always under anxiety. And 7.5.30, where it is said that because of their uncontrolled senses, person too addicted to materialistic life make progress towards hellish conditions and repeatedly chew that which has already been chewed. Their inclination towards Krishna are never aroused either by the instruction of others, by their own efforts, or by combination of both. So I think these instructions are very, very important and very, very applicable actually in a grahast life, that because our senses are uncontrolled, we have millions of desires within our heart, and we're always struggling. Even we actually know this philosophy, we know actually how actually other people have lived their life in this materialistic way, and what is the result. Still, we are doing the same. Because this actually, the taste for material enjoyment is very hard to actually give up, because we are very addicted to that. So that is actually the problem. Even actually we think that actually by earning more money or acquiring material possessions, we will become happy. So as Srila Prabhupada say, the Hiranyakashipu, the Hiranya means gold and Kashpi means soft bed. So we have this desire for this gold, the actually material opulence, and we actually trying very hard to actually get that, because we also think that we will become happy by actually having all these possessions. And we also have actually lusty desires. We also sometimes we are very lazy. We do not want to actually spend more time on actually reading and chanting. So all these things are actually stopping us progressing on this path. So Guru Maharaj says that there is only one way to actually control our senses, where he referred to Srimad Bhagavatam verse, Canto 9, Chapter 4, verse 18, where I just read the translation for actually a limitation of time. Maharaj Ambrish always engaged his mind in meditating upon the lotus feet of Krishna. His words in describing the glories of the Lord, his hands in cleansing the Lord's temple, and his ears in hearing the words spoken by Krishna or about Krishna. So Maharaj says that please stop this showboatal devotional service. So we have to actually engage. That is the only way. And for devotional service, nothing else is required. And I especially actually like one statement by Guru Maharaj in that lecture, where he said that now you have to become a pure devotee, and for devotion, he didn't need all these things. There is nothing needed for devotional service. That is a point. One is cursed to become a rich. So just so that one's mind always has to think about banks, etc. So that point actually I was thinking, I said one is cursed to become a rich. So I was meditating on this point, and Guru Maharaj actually said that we want to actually become rich, we want to actually earn more money. And Maharaj is saying that one is actually cursed to become rich, that his mind always think about the bank balance and how to actually manage all these things after we acquire all these material possessions. So actually we are always remain engaged, actually constantly revolving in actually maintaining our material position. And that's how we actually we run out of time. But the more material qualification we have, the more it is an impediment for our devotional service. So we better become full in front of Krishna. And that's why Jad Bharat acted like he did not know anything. So please try to understand these things. These things are not needed. Devotional service means devotional service only, no conditions. Only devotional service is required, and that's all. So actually, these are very important instructions that actually what we understand from this is that we do not really need any material qualification to actually in order to actually become a devotee or purify ourselves. Nothing material is needed. And in Srimad Bhagavatam 7.9.9, it is said, Prahlad Maharaj continued, one may possess wealth, an aristocratic family, beauty, austerity, education, sensory expertise, luster, influence, physical strength, diligence, intelligence, and mystic yogic power. But I think that even by all these qualifications, one cannot satisfy the Supreme Personality of Godhead. However, one can satisfy the Lord simply by devotional service. Gajendra did this, and thus Lord was satisfied with him. So again, the same point that any material qualification is not going to make us qualify to attain the pure devotional service. So as Guru Maharaj also said that there is nothing material is needed to become a devotee, only we need to have a desire, and we need to actually engage our time and our senses in service of the Lord, just like Maharaj Ambrish did. And that will help us to actually progress on this path. Means, yeah, when I think about this and when I read it, it's all big philosophy. But I think unless we take the steps toward it, it's not going to be a reality. So somehow, means I am struggling on this path. I'm struggling with all the material things. And the only thing we can do is to actually, take the shelter of Guru Maharaj and Srila Prabhupada and pray to Lord Nrsimhadeva. As we actually, we always, every morning we sing the prayer, Om Namo Bhagavate Nrsimhaya. So the Lord Nrsimhadev can actually appear in our heart, just like he appeared from the stamba, from the pillar to protect Prahlad Maharaj. So he can also, if we pray sincerely, then he can also may appear in our heart as well. And he can, with his nails, and teeth like a thunderbolt, he can uproot our material desires. That way, I think we can become fearless and we will slowly progress on this path. So that is a prayer I think I have to actually, do every day. So there is a hope for us, because we always sing Lord Nrsimhadev prayer on daily basis. Even we actually starting new things or traveling everywhere, every time. We ask for the protection. So protection is already given. It's up to us now to become, how sincere we want to be. And that way, like Prahlad Maharaj, such a, means a just 5-year-old boy, but he is actually one of the Mahajans. And actually, the instruction given by Prahlad Maharaj, they are very, very important. And Srila Prabhupada said that we have to follow the path shown by the Mahajans. We cannot chuck out our own path. So we should actually, read and meditate on the instruction given by Prahlad Maharaj as well. And if we actually try to implement, sincerely those instructions in your life, then we can expect the mercy of Lord Nrsimhadev. And we are pretty sure that Lord Nrsimhadev will protect us if we follow the path shown by Prahlad Maharaj. Jai, Jablo Shri Prahlad Nrsimha Bhagwan ki Jai, Srila Prabhupada ki Jai, Srila Gurudev ki Jai. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Amrish Prabhu and devotees.
Thank you very much, Hita Prabhu, for a nice realization. It's very nice. Devotees, sorry, I did something wrong here. Lower my hand. So, we may have heard this pastime of Lord Nrsimhadev hundreds of times. And each time we hear, each time we want to hear more. It's not that it becomes boring. Even in material life, you see something, you hear something, you chant the same name, it becomes boring. But here it is not boring. That is the point to be understood. Very nice. Hare Krishna. We'd like to hear more now. Who would like to continue? Please, who would like to be next? Hare Krishna. Come on, please. Mataji, Pitaji. I want to speak, but don't give me so long, 2 hours, We want to hear from you. Hare Krishna. Yes, please. And also turn on your cameras, please. Those who are turned on will be turning off. We'll be turning off our cameras too, when you're speaking. It'll be very bad. It's not good. Okay. Please, please. Who would like to come now? Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Hare Krishna. Thank you all very much for your very nice realizations on this auspicious program for Lord Nrsimhadeva's appearance. Everyone so far has given some very nice realizations. I'd just like to mention a couple of points. They were both from realizations by Srila Prabhupada, and I thought that they were quite relevant to the discussion as well. So we all know the story of Lord Nrsimhadev, but after Lord Nrsimhadev killed Hiranyakashipu, he was very, very angry, and we know that Prahlad Maharaj offered prayers to Lord Nrsimhadev, which pacified Lord Nrsimhadev. And Lord Nrsimhadev, being pacified, asked Prahlad Maharaj that for any benediction, because he had pleased Lord Nrsimhadev very much. And even from a material context, well, not material context, but even from, if we think of it from our point of view, that the Lord has appeared and killed, Prahlad Maharaj's father, and, in a very angry mood and incarnation, and I was asking for a benediction. And we all know, and we've heard from the devotees, how Prahlad Maharaj was completely unagitated, even when Lord Brahma and other demigods were very, very scared of this form of the Lord. So with all of this happening, Lord Nrsimhadev asked Prahlad Maharaj for a benediction. And Prahlad Maharaj said that, my father was a materialist. In the same way, I'm also a materialist. So what benediction can I receive? I don't need any, I don't want any benediction. I just want to be the servant of the servant of the Lord. And in such way, Prahlad Maharaj was offering some very, very nice prayers. But then when Lord Nrsimhadev was a little more pacified, then Prahlad Maharaj asked Lord Nrsimhadev that Hiranyakashipu, my father, was a staunch enemy of you, but can you please provide mercy and liberate him? So despite his father wanting to kill him, putting him through so much atrocities, Prahlad Maharaj still, as a devotee, a pure devotee of the Lord, was not affected by this at all, and he did not ask anything for himself. He wanted liberation for his father. So Lord Nrsimhadev said that not only Prahlad Maharaj's father, Hiranyakashipu, will be liberated, but Hiranyakashipu's father, his father, and so on and so forth, 14 generations will be liberated. And so Srila Prabhupada mentions that this process of devotional service for anyone is very, very important, not only for themselves, but for their family as well. And when we follow Krishna consciousness, then even our family and our ancestors and our heritage also become liberated. And so this is not only a personal journey that we're taking, but we're also doing it on behalf of or as representatives of our family too. And that is why when you're growing up and you have parents that are in Christian consciousness, it's very important to bear that in mind, that it doesn't stop there. The line has to progress, the parampara has to progress. And this is what Srila Prabhupada, this is what I understood from what Srila Prabhupada was saying, which is very important by taking the example of Prahlad Maharaj. Also, actually, Prahlad Maharaj do not request the Lord to come, and save him. When Prahlad Maharaj said that Lord Nrsimhadev is in, or that the Lord is in the pillar, he was not praying that, please be in the pillar, or please, or please, requesting the Lord to come and praying for him to save him or anything like that, because he had staunch faith. But the Lord himself came down to help. And so, to say that don't be afraid, I'm there, for you. So even Prabhupada says that sadhus as well, you know, in any capacity, anyone who is devotee of the Lord, they're always they do not command the Lord to, you know, come and help them, and, you know, when they're going through any issues or any suffering, they do not demand any, you know, any reciprocation or anything from the Lord to say that, oh, you know, I'm your devotee, why are you not helping me? And none of that at all. They instead, they'll, you know, say that I'm suffering, that's what Krishna wants, and I don't want to bother him. But then the Lord comes and, you know, helps the devotee. And as we know, and as we try and practice, we're always trying to find the hand of Lord Krishna. But that also comes under the understanding that Krishna is helping us. It's not that, you know, Krishna is ignoring us, but the devotee never demands that help from the Lord, in the same way that Prahlad Maharaj never demanded that help. And so that's also very important. And, you know, Lord Krishna takes it upon himself to come and show mercy on the devotee. So as Lord Nrsimhadeva did when he appeared out of the pillar, because Prahlad Maharaj said that the Lord is everywhere and he is also in the pillar. So the Lord, you know, basically proved that, and also fulfilled Prahlad Maharaj's understanding too. So this is a very, very important pastime. You know, as a kid when I was growing up, it was a fantastic, you know, it was fantastical in nature and also very appealing. But as you grow older, you start to, you know, realize some more, you know, the more deep things behind it. And I know that my mother and my father were also, especially my mom, when I was growing up, she was very, very kept telling me about Prahlad Maharaj quite a lot. So, you know, this particular day of Lord Nrsimhadeva's appearance is very close to my heart and the heart of my family as well. And as is mentioned by the other devotees, whenever we're going for any new venture, for any trips, you know, going overseas, anything like that, anything new, we always chant the prayers of Lord Nrsimhadeva to protect us. And we do feel protected, you know, even though, you know, whether people may like to believe it or not, but there is definitely a feeling of protection whenever, you know, we chant Lord Nrsimhadeva's prayers. And it's also mentioned when, you know, someone passes away, or when you're in a great difficulty, then you chant the Nrsimhadev Kavach as well to give you protection. And we've also done that and felt that, you know, the auspicious energy from singing those verses. So yeah, that's some of my realizations. Hare Krishna.
Thank you very much, Krishna Prabhu. Very nice realization. Yes, that's correct. That's correct. Leela's pastimes are very important, especially for children. We should do dramas, you know, on this. I don't know if devotees here are participating for dramas. I know for Jagai Madhai we did. I'd made Avinash Kishore Gunda like me, you know, in Jagai Madhai drama. But I don't know if we made anybody. I was Hiranyakashipu. So I don't. Yeah, we had Krishnadas acting there. So I think that's it. Yeah, very nice. Hare Krishna. Please give us more. Give us more. Would like to go next now. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Thank you, Amrish Prabhu. Thank you, Purnapana Devi Dasi, and thank you, Krishna Samarvesi Prabhu, for this opportunity. And also what should I say? Also the philosophy, the practical way of implementing these kind of things when you are not in Auckland. Yeah, when you're outside, out and about, and talking to so many people and talking about these things, yes, that credit goes to Amrish Babu. We're talking about home temple. We're talking about those things. Yeah, so that's yeah. So the specifically, yeah. So yeah, so on Nrsimhadeva's appearance day, the two things which come to my mind. One is Maharaj Sannyas day when he took the sannyas, and this special day of Nrsimhadeva appearance. Unfortunately, we had two programs, home programs on this day. One was on Thursday when we are actually celebrating, and I don't know how did it work out that at the dusk time we are singing those prayers, because I was somewhere, they were somewhere, so it all happened. So all goes to Nrsimhadeva and to devotees. So, and many devotees fasted here also. So my relation, and I've been talking a lot on this, so I don't know what to talk. So in Canto 5 also, where Sukadeva Goswami is talking about Prahlad Maharaj and Nrsimhadev, and I think that's the prayer we sing, Om Namo Bhagavate Nrsimhaya. That's also from that chapter, that canto. So in this chapter, Sukadeva Goswami is talking about cause of Lord Nrsimhadeva's appearance. It's not me, it's Bhagavatam. So I'll go to the translation. Sukadeva Goswami continued, my dear king, Lord Nrsimhadev resides in the tract of land known as Hare worship. In the 7th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, I shall describe to you how Prahlad Maharaj caused the Lord to assume the form of Nrsimhadeva. That is the power of a devotee. Prahlad Maharaj, the topmost devotee of the Lord, is a reservoir of all good qualities of great personalities. His character and activities have delivered all the fallen members of his demonic family. Lord Nrsimhadev is very dear to this exalted personality. Thus, Prahlad Maharaj, along with his servants and all the denizens of Hare Varsha, worship Lord Nrsimhadev by chanting the following mantra. So that's in Canto 5 where it is being discussed, and credit is given to the credit is given to Prahlad Maharaj, to the devotees. He caused Lord Nrsimhadev to appear, and we all know the pastimes, how things happened and whatnot, and how things manifested. And we also, as a devotee, we understand the difference between Lord's different incarnations, how they relate to us, what we learn from them, how it affects us, and why we do it. Krishna was sharing his lesson that when we do it, how we do it, and why we do it. Very practical, very touch and feel. And the next verse in the same chapter, where which we all recite every day, I would like to recite that also. Om Namo Bhagavate Nrsimhaya Namas Tejas Tejas Avir Bhava Vajranakha Vajradhasta Karma Shayan Randhai Randhai Tamo Grasa Grasa Om Swaha Om Swaha Abhyam Abhyam Atmani Bhuishtham Om Shram Om Shram Om Shram. So this is the prayer which Prahlad Maharaj did when he started worshipping Lord Nrsimhadev. And the translation by Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. I offer my respectful obeisance unto the Lord Nrsimhadev, the source of all power. O my Lord, who possesses nails and teeth, just like the thunderbolts, kindly vanquish our demonic desires for fruity activities in this material world. Please appear in our hearts and drive away our ignorance, so that by your mercy we may become fearless in the struggle for existence in this material world. So that is a prayer we do every day, and I never used to do it. Again, credit goes to Amrish Prabhu for introducing these kind of things. That we should do this, and also the Kavach, Nrsimha Kavach. And they are very powerful, and we do it both day and in the evening, both time at the moment. And why we do it? we all have just discussed. So what happens when actually we start doing this kind of prayers? Of course, we get protection, we become fearless, but there is also much more to this. So I would like to recite one more verse which we have been discussing yesterday, and then we can talk about it. Yeah, so that verse is Yasyasti bhakti bhagavati yakinchana sarva gunastatra samasate suraha arava bhaktasya kuto mahadguna manorathena sati dhavato bhavi. Translation: all the demigods and their exalted qualities such as religion, knowledge, and renunciation become manifest in the body of one who has developed unalloyed devotion for the supreme personality of Godhead, Vasudeva. On the other hand, a person devoid of devotional service and engaged in material activities has no good qualities. Even if he is adept at the practice of mystic yoga or honest endeavor of maintaining his family and relatives, he must be driven by his own mental speculation and must engage in the service of Lord's external energy. How can there be any good quality in such a man? So this is Prahlad Maharaj's prayer in the part of teaching that what happens when we continue doing these prayers. And then in the purport, Prabhupada become more specific about when you start praying, when you start become a devotee, when you try to practice, how these qualities automatically manifest. You don't have to practice. And then Prabhupada is giving 26 qualities by giving examples of Chaitanya Charitamrita, that who has mentioned and where and all those 26 qualities are Kali Yuga, the way things are advancing. But for a student of Bhagavatam, and by the mercy of devotees, those qualities can be achieved, can be actually just by doing these things properly or doing in a systematic way and a bona fide way. Well, quickly read those 26 qualities. We had a long discussion on this, and read the background also. In the Adi Lila of Chaitanya Charitamrita, chapter 8, there is a description of some of the qualities of devotees. For example, Sri Pandit Haridas, described as being very well behaved, tolerant, peaceful, magnanimous, and grave. In addition, he spoke very sweetly. His endeavors were very pleasing. He was always patient. He respected everyone. He always worked for everyone's benefit. His mind was free of duplicity, and he was completely devoid of all malicious activity. These are the original qualities of Lord Krishna. And when one becomes a devotee, then automatically these qualities become manifest. Sri Krishnadas Kaviraj, the author of Chaitanya Charitamrita, says that all good qualities become manifest in the body of Vaishnava, and that only by presence of these qualities can one distinguish a Vaishnava from a non-Vaishnava. And that was the point of discussion we had. And Krishnadas Kaviraj lists the following 26 good qualities of Vaishnavas, which Prahlad Maharaj is talking about, and Prabhupada is further writing. And I'll just quickly read those qualities also. And then that's a measure of my situation as a devotee, trying to be a devotee. So number one is he is very kind to everyone. Number two, he does not make anyone his enemy. Number three, he is truthful. He is equal to everyone. Number five, no one can find fault in him. He is magnanimous. He is mild. He is always clean. He is without possession. He works for everyone's benefit. Number 11, he is very peaceful. He is always surrendered to Krishna. Number 13, he has no material desires. Number 14, he is very meek. Number 15, he is steady. Number 16, he controls his senses. Number 17, he does not eat more than required. Number 18, he is not influenced by the Lord's illusionary energy. Number 19, he offers respect to everyone. Number 20, he does not desire any respect for himself. Number 21, he is very grave. Number 22, he is merciful. 23, he is friendly. Number 25 is poetic. Number 24 is poetic. Number 25 is expert. And number 26 is silent. So they're all of, so we had long discussion on this, these 26 qualities. And there was a situation where actually these are not practical. Even if you do, chanting, even if you do practicing Krishna consciousness, it becomes very hard to actually practice these qualities. But what we are talking about, when actually you become a devotee or you try to become a devotee, this quality automatically manifest. But again, in the practical situation, that's how this quality can be developed. Because sometimes we have to practice, we have to force. And also the practical side of it. It's easy to talk, it's very easy to give philosophy, but as we all discussed, the practical implementation becomes very hard. But yeah, so we have long discussion on this, and we have a lot of questions on this Nrsimhadeva's appearance date, which will take much longer than, and probably I don't remember all those questions. But that's what I wanted to share. Thank you, Vishnu. Thank you, devotees. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much, Avinash Krishna, for your realization. Hare Krishna. And it's very nice you all had a program in India as well. It's very good, very nice. Okay, who would like to go next now? Please feel free. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, devotees. It's a nice realization. We all know that
Hare Om, your
our
voice is not coming very clear. Hare Krishna. Your voice is a little distorted.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Now is it
Yeah,
okay?
much better. Thank you.
Om Namo Bhagavate Nrsimhaya. Jai.
Again, Mother,
I
can you
offer
listen
devotees.
again? It's still distorted now. It became distorted again.
Sorry, Prabhuji. I'll just connect from
Now
my
it is
phone
okay.
then.
Now you're okay.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Now it's okay?
Yeah, now it is okay.
Okay. That's fine. Jai Nrsimhadev ki Jai. I offer my respectful obeisances unto Lord Nrsimha, the source of
Again,
all
it
who
went off.
possesses.
When you look down, it's okay. You look up, it's not okay. Yeah, now this is okay. Now this is better. Speak like this.
I can connect from.
Sorry,
your
Mother, it is not.
phone.
It's very
I think it's
distorted.
going. It's not nothing like that. It's just coming and going. The
Yeah,
connection.
coming and going. Yeah, quite true.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes, Hari Bol, Mother.
Jai Nrsimhadev ki Jai. Now it's okay, Prabhuji? Jai, I offer my respectful obeisances unto Lord Nrsimha, the Lord of all power. O my Lord, who possesses nails and teeth just like thunderbolt, kindly vanquish our demonic-like desires for fruitive activity in this material world. Please appear in our heart and drive away our ignorance, so that by your mercy we may become fearless in the struggle for existence in this material world. We always try to engage in the services of the toes of the Lord's lotus feet and can easily become free from hard-knotted desires for fruitive activities. Because we cannot stop the waves of sense gratification, we surely need the shelter of Lord Nrsimhadev, who can strongly encourage us to stop these material desires and try to be like the god, like Hiranyakashipu. As Lord Nrsimhadev is attracted by devotees, but for demons, Lord Nrsimhadev is very dangerous. So in such demonic world, devotee surely needs the protection with Lord Nrsimhadev's mercy. Even the Prahlad Maharaj got the shelter from Lord Nrsimhadev to save his life from the demon father Hiranyakashipu. If our prayers are as pure as Prahlad Maharaj, we have no fear of demons around us. But to attain this purity, we need continuous prayer to purify ourselves. As Krishnadas Prabhu said that it is so auspicious, we all know that we always sing Lord Nrsimhadev's prayer in the beginning of any new thing, or any journey or an event or something new we are starting. So this has developed so much during these years that we automatically now, it just comes to our mind that now we have to sing Lord Nrsimhadev's prayer before we are starting a journey or something. And it is it looks like it's a yagna for us when we sing this prayer, because it's so strong that it just makes your brain so much fearless that you guaranteed see yourself growing. We can see ourselves to have the Lord Nrsimhadev's mercy to achieve any success on that journey, especially if we are we have very doubts in our brains. So it is the only way I've realized that Lord Nrsimhadev's mercy can only we can only get through the prayer, through learning about Lord Nrsimhadev. So because how Lord Nrsimhadev appeared from that tomb, where Prahlad Maharaj was just doing his prayer, that Lord is like he is in everything. And then just for the sake of his devotee, Lord Nrsimhadev appeared from that tomb. So it is not like, if our prayers are so much pure, then Lord never always shows his hand in our whatever we are doing, if we have that faith like Prahlad Maharaj. So it is such a good learning for children as well, that they always try to develop this faith through the prayer and through learning more about Lord Nrsimhadev. That is my realization, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Okay, thank you very much, Mother. Very nice. Hare Krishna. Yes. We'll have hopefully children sing Lord Nrsimhadev prayers at the end. Okay, who would like to go next now? Hare Krishna. Yes, please.
Hare Krishna, dear devotees. My realization is based on one of the posts in the group. It's very nice, so I thought I should share that one. The title was "Why We Need to Worship Lord Nrsimha." His Grace Pankaja Giri Prabhu was once asked this question. I'm just reading that post first. His Grace Pankaja Giri Prabhu was once asked this question. Prabhuji, ultimately, you are in Navdeep Dham, where prem to Radha Krishna is given, and Ashtasakhi are on their altar. Why would you still worship Sthanu Nrsimha? Do you think that sweet mood of Radha Krishna and ferocious mood of Nrsimhadeva are not in sync with each other? So His Grace Pankajagiri Prabhu very beautifully explained, the process of worship of Radha Krishna is filled with a lot of hurdles Only someone who has pure love for Radha Krishna can swim through this ocean. But there are many, many obstacles on this path. We worship Lord Nrsimhadeva that his nails uproot all the obstacles on our path. Then our path to Radha Madhava is straightforward. He also added very beautiful points. Radha Madhav are observed in their pastimes 24 hours a day. If we call to Radha Madhav, I'm having a body problem, I'm having health issue, I'm having fever, I'm having this or that, are we their servants or are they our servants? Therefore, Radha Madhava mercifully have taken incarnation of Nrsimhadeva on a pretext of protecting Prahlad Maharaj, who was already protected. On a pretext of protecting Prahlad Maharaj, Lord Nrsimhadeva appeared to give the statement to the world. Radha Madhav is saying, I'm busy in my pastimes, so if you need something, please contact Nrsimhadev. So anytime you need protection in this world, anytime you need uprooting any anarthas or any problems or health issues, please contact Lord Nrsimha. His nails are very powerful and he is infallible. Jai Shri Nrsimhadev Bhagwan ki Jai. This is very beautiful post. So when I was reading this and thinking about it, and how nicely, like we always realize, I always realize this, how Nrsimhadeva always protect to us. And it's true that we are not, I'm not that pure that we can, that I will be the, worship Radha Giridhari to straight away without any obstacles. There every day there is so many problems comes in our life, which are the like that we take the we sometimes there is our excuses to not do the bhakti. But when I read the this post and I realized, whenever we have in some problems, we always do the Nrsimha, we always pray to the Lord Nrsimha Bhagwan, and it's I always realize that he always protects us. There are many realizations are like that. Sometimes we don't have the good health or any material, even not even the spiritual problems, but even the material life problems occurred. Lord Nrsimhadev is always protect us. If even the last week program, when we were having the program in our ashram, my daughter was sick like 2 weeks, since she was sick 2 weeks, and then we were thinking that how are we going to go to the program? Are we able to go or no? And then me and my Prabhuji thought even one person can go and one person can stay with her home, and then we will try our best to go. And then the morning Mangalati time, I just pray that she protect my daughter, and her health is not getting good since last 2 weeks. And we were going in and out to the hospital as well. And we were so concerned, me and my Prabhuji. And then the program was there, and that same day she becomes so good. She has no problem at all, no fever or anything. And we make the program, and it's so merciful, Lord Nrsimhadev, So there's no obstacle to that, my bhakti. So I'm not saying that I'm so pure that Lord Nrsimhadev is like, but he's so merciful that he's giving us a chance to do our bhakti. And this is just one example, and there's so many examples. There was, I remember once I was driving, and I don't know how, but I was remembering Lord Nrsimhadeva's Aarti when I was driving. At the same time, I had an accident. My car was like somebody bumped from the backside, and car was completely right off, but I had no scars on my body, and nothing happened to me. And that always realizations we get all the time. So these are just few examples. There are many realizations in my life. So we're always thankful to Lord Nrsimha Bhagwan and Shri Radha Giridhari for protecting us and giving us opportunity to serve to Radha and Giridhari. So I pray to the Lord Nrsimha Bhagwan today to protect all of us from all the obstacles and give us opportunity to serve Radha Giridhari and all the devotees as well. So this is my realization from today's discourse. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mother, thank you very much. So how is the young one doing now? She's okay?
Yes, she is okay, Prabhuji. From that day, she has no problem. She's good.
Okay, we did not see her. Where is she running? She's floating around somewhere.
She's here, Prabhuji.
Okay, okay, she's next to you. Okay,
Yeah.
okay. We have one camera. You don't have separate cameras, huh? कसे आहात तुम्ही? नवीन बरे आहात ना? You feeling all right?
हाँ मैं छान आहे प्रभूजी तुम्ही कसे आहात
Oh, मी पण ठणठणीत आहे. First class. So all the best. All the best. Very nice. Very nice. Okay, who would like to go next? Now, please feel free.
Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Thank you everyone for very nice realizations and sharing so many beautiful verses and all your realizations here. One thing I realized listening all the devotees that Lord Nrsimhadeva is the just all the devotees love Lord Nrsimhadeva so much. They are just the children, the devotees, everyone. So I remember when I heard this Namaste Nrsimhaya prayer for the first time, because before that I didn't know that prayer. But when I heard this prayer for the first time, the beautiful words and the tunes attracted me so much. And when I quickly learned it, and then most of the time in the house, I was singing the prayer all the time. So because it's such a beautiful tune and the words are so meaningful and very beautiful. So I have seen how children also learn very quickly this prayer. So yeah, it's all Nrsimhadeva's mercy to all the devotees. So I was just thinking how Krishna is taking he is appearing for the devotees in the world to protect them, protect the devotees and annihilate the miscreants all the time. He can appear in any form because he is the supreme person. He can take any form of any type of form. So just to keep his Bhakt Prahlad's words, he appears from the pillar. And how beautifully it's described in the Srimad Bhagavatam. I just want to recite this verse. Satyam vidhatum nijvritya bhashitam vyaptim cha bhuteshu akhleshu chatmanah adrishyatadbhut rupam utvahan stambhe sabhayam na mrigam na manusham. To prove that the statement of his servant Prahlad Maharaj was substantial. In other words, to prove that the Supreme Lord is present everywhere, even within the pillar of an assembly hall, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Hare, exhibited a wonderful form never before seen. The form was neither that of a man nor that of a lion. Thus the Lord appeared in his wonderful form in the assembly hall. Just the atheists, they can't actually fathom that this kind of things happen. But devotees, they have full faith in Lord, and we can understand how Nrsimhadeva protected Prahlad Maharaj. Prahlad, also when I was just going through the this Canto 7, and I was reading that how Prahlad Maharaj, he says that when Lord Brahma says that because Lord Nrsimhadev, after killing Hiranyakashipu, he was not pacified, he was in great anger, and then no one dared to go in front of Lord Nrsimhadev to pacify him. And then Brahmaji says that Prahlad Maharaj, please you go. So Prahlad Maharaj, although he's such an exalted devotee, and he says that I have been born in a demonic family, and I don't possess any quality. But as soon as Lord Nrsimhadev keeps his hand on his head, and then he gets all the mercy of Lord Nrsimhadev. And then Prahlad Maharaj says that although I'm born in the demonic family, still I get all the mercy of the Lord. So it doesn't matter, Lord is equal to everyone, and he can, even if you are born in any family, anywhere, in any form, he can protect you if you are sincere. So that is very beautiful, and this I can learn from this that the faith I have to have in Nrsimhadev, in Krishna's words, the chanting, and if I have full faith in there, then no one can actually make me fearful. So also how Prahlad Maharaj at the age of 5, in so many bad conditions, he was preaching. He's the, I think, youngest preacher in the whole Bhagavatam I have seen. So he's preaching to his friends. In school, he's preaching to his friends. And then he also says that there are people who, there's a verse there in Canto 7, verse 9, and the verse is number 44. So I would recite that. Prayena dev munayah swamukti kama maunam charanti vijnena parartha nishtha netan vihaya kripanan vimukshuk eko nanyam twadasya sharanam brahmato anupashyi. Translation. My dear Lord Nrsimhadev, I see that there are many saintly persons indeed, but they are interested only in their own deliverance, not caring for the big cities and towns. They go to the Himalayas or the forest to meditate with vows of silence, Mauna-vrata. They are not interested in delivering others. As for me, however, I do not wish to be liberated alone, leaving aside all these poor fools and rascals. I know that without Krishna consciousness, without taking shelter of your lotus feet, one cannot be happy. Therefore, I wish to bring them back to shelter at your lotus feet. So Srila Prabhupada also writes in the purport that this is the decision of the Vaishnava, the pure devotee of the Lord. For himself, he has no problems, even if he has to stay in this material world, because his only business is to remain in Krishna consciousness. The Krishna conscious person can go even to hell and still be happy. Therefore, Prahlad Maharaj said, Navo dvije par duratya vaitaranaya. O best of the great personalities, I am not at all afraid of material existence. So we have seen how Srila Prabhupada, in all conditions, he has preached, and because of him, because of the mercy of Srila Prabhupada and Srila Gurudev, we are actually associating here with each other, and we are just relishing the beautiful pastimes of Lord Nrsimhadev. Otherwise, if Prabhupada was not there, then it was impossible for us to know each other. what about the relishing anything, but we couldn't have, we were in all other places, all different places, just the Prabhupada's mercy. That's how the Vaishnava has the compassion and mercy for the others. And Prahlad Maharaj is ready to go to even hell to preach, so that everyone, so we can see that we don't go to hell at the moment, but hell is everywhere here on this planet Earth. But there are dedicated devotees, Vaishnavas, who are taking this message of Prahlad Maharaj, who was preaching, Srila Prabhupada, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, to each and every person. It's up to them, they want to listen or not, but they are doing their duty. So I remember that I was listening some lecture, and then there was this there was this situation which came, like if you go to Himalayas for doing the tapasya, then because mind is so flickering and obstinate and strong that it can maybe misguide you. But if you are in the association of the devotees, if you are continuously in touch of devotees, then there is little chances you might go wrong. So it's very, we are very fortunate to have the association of the devotees here, and the like-minded devotees who help each other and just to go on the path of Krishna consciousness. We can have shelter of Srila Prabhupada's books. We can have shelter of Guru Maharaj's lotus feet, Srila Prabhupada's lotus feet. And then if sincerely we do everything here, then obviously we can just go on this beautiful path. So Prahlad Maharaj has shown us that in any condition, you can preach. He was thrown in the well of the snakes. He was given poison. He was his aunt tried to burn him, but in all the conditions he was surviving, because just he has the firm faith in Krishna. So that firm faith, I think I have to put myself in that firm faith, and that is, if I can do that, obviously I can be fearless, as Lord we are praying all the time to Lord Nrsimhadeva, so he can give us the abhaya. That's what my realization is. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Very Mother. Thank you very much for a nice realization. It's very nice. It's very good and inspiring to hear everyone's realization. How Lord Nrsimhadeva affects them. Very nice. Hare Krishna. Who would like to go next?
Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Thank you very much for your wonderful realizations. So a lot of points that have been spoken already by devotees, but let's try to share my realization. So the first time I remember hearing about Prahlad Maharaj was when I was very young, very, very young. And when I had a small version of Bhagavad Gita that was given to me by my grandfather. And this line, in that it was saying, Bhaktat Uttama Prahlad. So when I, because we used to recite every day, so when I read that for the first time as a child, it just completely reached in the core of my heart. And because, when we were young, we would try to strive to be the best in everything that you do. So this thought came to my mind that, oh, so Prahlad is the best devotee of the Lord, I was very attracted to that thought. And wanted to know what did Prahlad Maharaj do to be the best among the devotees. And we heard the stories from our parents and grandparents about Prahlad Maharaj. And I was in total awe, just completely amazed that how can a 5-year-old boy even do that? Because I was more than 5 years old. So I used to think at 5 years of age, you go through so many difficulties. And how can you be fixed in? So the story that was told to us was, as mentioned earlier by the devotees, how Prahlad Maharaj, by his own father, his own father tried to kill him in different ways, by throwing him from a mountain, by putting him in burning oil, or by putting him in a well of snakes. And he had unflinching faith in the Lord. And there was no way in which he actually tried to defend himself. So that's the learning that I can derive for myself from this, is that the difficulties in this material life are going to be there, because this life is full of miseries. Material life is always full of miseries. It's a place full of miseries, as Srila Prabhupada says, padam padam chavipadam. But how do we not be the driver? And how do we have complete faith in the Lord and be fearless? So that is the story of Prahlad Maharaj. I'm just going to recite a couple of verses that I think Mataji has also recited, but and then I'll bring into context my realization. So this is from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 7, Chapter 9, verse 43 and 44. Naivedyo paradurataya vaitaranas Tvadvirya gayanamaham vitamagna chittaha Sochetatho vimukha chetasa indriyata Maya sukhaya bharam udahato vimudhan. I'll just read the translation. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. O best of the great personalities, I am not at all afraid of material existence. For wherever I stay, I am fully absorbed in thoughts of your glories and activities. My concern is only for the fools and rascals who are making elaborate plans for material happiness, maintaining their families, societies, and countries. I am simply concerned with love for them. So the next verse. Prayena deva munaya svam mukti kama maunam charanti vijayena pararthanishta naitan vihaya kripanana vimuksa eko nanyam tvadasya saranam brahmato anupyase. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. My dear Lord Nrsimhadeva, I see that there are many saintly persons indeed, but they are interested only in their own deliverance. Not caring for the big cities and towns, they go to the Himalayas or the forests to meditate with vows of silence, Mauna Vrata. They are not interested in delivering others. As for me, however, I do not wish to be liberated alone, leaving aside all these poor fools and rascals. I know that without Krishna consciousness, without taking shelter of your lotus feet, one cannot be happy. Therefore, I wish to bring them back to shelter at your lotus feet. So, in the purport of the previous verse, there's a mention about the river Vaitarni, which is between the spiritual and the material world. And Srila Prabhupada says that it is very difficult to cross this river. There is a river known as Vaitarni between the material and spiritual worlds, and one must cross this river to reach the other side or the spiritual world. This is an extremely difficult task. And in the next verse, in the purport, Srila Prabhupada says that this is a decision of the Vaishnava, the pure devotee of the Lord. For himself, he has no problems, even if he has to stay in this material world, because his only business is to remain in Krishna consciousness. The Krishna conscious person can go even to hell and still be happy. So this is a very bold and eye-opening statement. And then also how Srila Prahlad Maharaj says, I'm not at all afraid of material existence. The pure devotee is never unhappy in any condition of life. So this immediately gave me the reminiscence of us having some years back. We were in Rajkot in India at Rajkot Dham, where Srila Gurudev resided. And this verse was being taken in the Srimad Bhagavatam class by Srila Gurudev. And I remember we recited the verse again and again, and stayed with me. And I remember Srila Gurudev saying that, you know, when Lord Nrsimhadeva was very, very pleased with Prahlad Maharaj, and he asked for benediction, at that time, Prahlad Maharaj said, you know, like, do not worry about me. So because he is concerned about preaching to everybody, and until each and every person in the material existence goes back to Godhead, he wants to stay here. So Srila Gurudev said, who can say this to the Supreme Personality of Godhead? Can you imagine the power and the amazing, amazing thought process behind saying this, that don't worry about me? Can anyone say that? And it stayed with me how Srila Gurudev mentioned that, you know, that is the devotee, Prahlad Maharaj. And then when I heard that, I felt, oh, there is hope, you know, because we think that we are, this is for myself, we think that, oh, you know, I'm doing my devotional service, I'm doing my 16 rounds of chanting, I'm following all the trying to follow all the 4 regulatory principles. You know, I'm all right, I'm doing good, I'm going to go back to Godhead. You know, it's just like, I have that ticket to go back to Godhead, I'm doing everything. But it's not only that, isn't it? It's so much about your consciousness. Where is my consciousness at? Am I even anywhere there? So Prahlad Maharaj says that to Lord Nrsimhadeva, that please do not give to me any material benediction. The only benediction you can give to me is that I should not even have any attachment to any material things, because I've already experienced this. And then he asks for the benediction for his father to be liberated, as Krishnadas mentioned. So how am I'm just like, you know, just thinking, how am I going to be able to reach to that thought process even? We want to have everything and then, you know, like pacify myself. Oh, you know, all your material things are taken care of. Then it's very easy for us to do our devotional service. It's very easy to say that. And then, yeah, okay, you know, everything is fine. All set. I've done all my things and I can do my devotional service. That's one way of doing it. Or do I have to focus on my devotional service and then everything else will be taken care of? It's 2 different things. Where do I want to be? It's a bit like there's a fear in your mind, you know. Oh, I'm not sure if I don't do this, if I don't take care of this, then what's going to happen? So then I'm not having that full faith that Krishna is going to take care of me. And this is a lesson that I feel is to learn from Prahlad Maharaj. He did not, as Krishnadas said, he did not ask Lord Nrsimhadeva, are you going to be there in the pillar? I'm saying to my father that you're going to be there in the pillar. Are you actually going to be there? I'm not sure. He didn't have the doubt at all. He did not even pray to Lord Nrsimhadeva, can you please be in the pillar? He did not even think that when he was going to be, undergoing all this austerities and all this difficulties, that the Lord is going to protect him. But he had the faith, and it's all about that. And that is something I feel is so much relevant to everything that we are doing. And Srila Prabhupada's mode was this, Srila Gurudev's mode is this, that they have come to deliver us fallen souls, at least fallen soul like me. And what is it to keep it with yourself then? Isn't this all about spreading this wonderful, wonderful Krishna consciousness moment, And it just makes you feel very petty when you look at the difficulties that these great devotees have gone through. You look at the life of any devotee of the Lord whose life has been easy. Everyone has gone through so much difficulty. And we are very proud that, I'm going through a lot of difficulties, that also makes us proud sometimes. Like in school, we had a lesson in school, which was, I think, by Hindi book. It was, I think, Munshi Premchand or something. I'm not sure who it was, but the author was there, and he was talking about two friends, and two friends were talking about, I have so much of dukh. That has happened, and this has happened, and I'm so miserable, and this and that. And then the other friend starts to talk about, oh, I have got so much misery as well, and this, and then they're proud about it. And they're saying, okay, maybe I'm like having more than you. And it really, this is like when I was less than 15 years old, I remember reading this and I thought, wow, it can happen. You can be proud about anything in life. It's possible. So the point that I actually am trying to make here is that there are so many things and so many conditions. We need to have faith that whatever position we are in, whatever association we are in, whatever condition we are in, whatever circumstances we are in, whatever Krishna has given us, that is the best for us. We do not know. We don't even remember what we have done in our own this life. There are so many lifetimes after which somehow or the other, due to the mercy of the pure devotees, we have come into contact with this wonderful transcendental spiritual activity of Krishna consciousness. And I just feel that, when you read about Prahlad Maharaj, it gives you that inspiration. That's why the leaders, they are the leaders of the society. He's a Mahajan, one of the 12 Mahajans. And that even Prahlad Maharaj's grandson, Bali Maharaj, is another Mahajan who was learning from Prahlad Maharaj as well. So whether you are born in which family you're born in, or what is your lineage, or you don't have your, somebody doesn't have a father, somebody doesn't have a mother, somebody doesn't have something, it does not matter. It is so not like we sometimes inflict the miseries upon our own self by telling our own self, oh, I don't have this, I don't have that. It's just not required. Nothing is important, and it's irrelevant as far as we want to focus on our Krishna consciousness. So I just feel that there are so many, all the different types of miseries that are inflicted. The one that we inflict upon ourselves are the worst. And the consciousness, to get the right consciousness, how to is by reading Prahlad Maharaj's teachings. And I would also like to mention that, as mentioned by Vinashasha Prabhu, that this is a transcendental day when Srila Gurudev, His Holiness Mahavishnu Goswami Maharaj accepted the sannyas order of life. Without that, without us taking the shelter of such a great personality, I cannot even imagine taking any steps into my devotional service. I always feel the protection of Srila Gurudev. And I always feel that, even if I don't want to be Krishna conscious, or I don't, I become lazy, or I don't want to do anything, there is always this shelter, and there's always this direction which tries to keep you focused on your path of devotional service. And I cannot thank Krishna enough for having Srila Gurudev in our lives. It's very, very, very rare to come into contact with pure devotees of the Lord. And because we have met Srila Gurudev, I don't feel sad that I have not met Srila Prabhupada physically, because we are meeting Srila Prabhupada through his books, and I just pray that we can, in this lifetime, do devotional activities which will make them transcendentally proud, as our WECAN Namahata. Hare Krishna.
Thank you very much, Gurupragya Leadership, for a nice realization. I'm sure it's inspiring a lot of devotees. Hare Krishna. Okay, now before I speak, I think Shobha will want to say something. You want to show a practical realization, Prabhuji? Hare Krishna.
Yes, Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you. Actually, I forgot to mention that, but when Krishna Das mentioned about how the Lord protects, so I remember that. And then the thing is that practical experience what I had, that my mother, 2-3 years before she left her body, but lastly, couple of weeks, her health was really deteriorated. And she one day, she always, every day I used to call her, and one day she said, when your Krishna is going to take, you always talk about Krishna. And I felt very bad about what she said. And I said, I used to pray, but still then I text Amrish Prabhu and explain him that this is the situation. Then I think Amrish Prabhu told me that you must recite that Nrsimha Kavacha, start from now and read Bhagavad Gita. And it happened, I got it from Amrish Prabhu on Thursday. I was reciting on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, even Monday. And Monday, when I was reciting last from my workplace, and she left her body early in the morning. The thing is, when she was leaving her body, my brother was there, another couple of friends were there. And that was early morning, and she said, someone is coming to take me. But normally we know that when person leaving body, it's a lot of pain, but she had no pain, and only she said, yes, someone is coming to take me, and just give me water. And just she left the body, and there was witness. So that's the magic. I mean, I will say, yes, it is Lord Nrsimhadeva has really protected my mother. And of course, me, since then, I'm reading every day, reciting that couch. And definitely me and my family is getting protected from that couch. Thank you. Thank you, Amrish Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Actually, the truth of the matter is, Srila Gurudeva protecting it and Srila Prabhupada protecting. So we can,
Yes, Prabhuji. Yeah.
They are the ones. They are the ones
Yes.
doing it. Like, this is the fact. I'm not saying this just for the sake of, this is a fact. Okay, so now probably this is my turn to start the discussion. Anyone else left? Would like to, I'll wait for 10 more seconds, please. If you'd like to say. Sorry, one want to say something?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Yes, Hare Krishna Navina. Bolo. Want to say something?
Can I share my realization?
Okay, you are in the leaders group. Why not? You should. Tell me. Hare Krishna. Please tell us all.
Jai Nrsimha Bhagavan ki jai. Om Namo Bhagavate Nrsimhaya. Namaste Jasa Avi Bhava Vajranakha Vajradamshta Kamashaya Vandaya Tamo Gasa Om Swaha Abhyam Atmani Bhuvishta Om Sham Om Sham. I offer my respectful obeisances unto Lord Nrsimhadeva, the source of all power. O my Lord, who processes nails and teeth just like thunderbolts, kindly vanquish our demon-like desires for fruitive activity in this material world. Please appear in our hearts and drive away our ignorance, so that by your mercy we may become fearless in the struggle for existence in this material world. Jai. Nrsimha Bhagwan protects me by helping me find my chanting beads when someone steals it. Like one day at school, someone just stole my chanting beads, and I was praying to Krishna to help me find my chanting beads. And the next day, when I was back at school, my friend ended up finding it for me. And
Good, very good.
he is like half man, half lion, and no one can stop him from protecting his devotees. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Very nice. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much, Navina.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Very nice. Very nice. Hare Krishna. Okay. We'll wait for 10 seconds if anyone wants to stay. Otherwise, I'll give my realizations then. Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Okay. Krishnadas, can you stop the recording and start again, please? So I can give my realizations. Thank you. I'll just wait for you.